President Obama maybe has some questions about what he has to be thankful for this Thanksgiving when it comes to public opinion. This month, the CBS News poll put his approval rating at 37%, a 9% drop from October. It's the president's lowest CBS News survey result since he took office, and Americans' view of the country is also falling. In October, CBS News analyst and Republican strategist gathered a focus group in Washington to see why their attitudes are changing.
I have two fundamental questions for you. First, how many of you are better off today than your parents were when they were your age? Raise your hands. Okay, so it's almost everybody. How many of you truly believe that your kids or the next generation is going to be better off than you when they get to be your age? Raise your hands. 2, 4, only 5 of you. How old are you?
26.
And you don't think the next generation is going to have it better than you? How can you be so young and so pessimistic?
Well, I see what money is doing to politics. And if we keep going down this road, it's not going to be good for anybody. It's only going to be good for the elite.
But thank God I've lived long enough to see the pendulum swing. It does swing from one side to the other. And it's about all the way over as far as it's going to go. and then the people will bring it back.
Are you a mom?
Yes.
Are you a grandma?
Yes.
Are your grandkids going to be better off than you when they get to be your age?
I don't think they will. I'm afraid that this country is going so far to the left that there's not going to be any swing back to the center or even a little to the right. I'm afraid of what I'm seeing happening in healthcare, and I'm afraid that what's going on with the economy.
This is America. Every generation has found a way out of it. Every generation has complained about the past and then done something special. Think of the technology you have. Think of the ability to reach out. I can't believe this negativity.
I actually think what's going on is that there is a lack of pride being established in this generation that's coming along. And I'm a retired school teacher, and in schools, they're teaching what's wrong with us, what's wrong with America. That's what they're emphasizing, instead of what's right about us, what's right about our Constitution, what's right about our founding fathers.
So why is this happening?
It's the truth.
I don't.
It's the truth?
It's not the truth.
We are imperfect
It's the truth?
creatures. We are imperfect creatures. We have a country that has these myths of social mobility and equality, and those things are not as true as they were in my father's time. In our country, we're more likely to stay in the economic strata we're born into than in our European countries.
That is way too neurotic. America's a great country. We have lots of opportunities. When I was a teenager, I was working concrete. I was going to school nights. I mean, it's a matter of reaching in yourself and being something. I think America still has it.
Frank Luntz is with us. Why this change in attitude?
Well, it used to be that the American dream was defined by freedom and opportunity, and now people relate money to it. Money can't buy you love. Money can't buy you happiness. There's just this sense that the country has turned in a direction that people can't control. Business is out of control. Politicians are out of control. Society, we've lost our ability to affect it, and it just makes us really, really morose.
Did you get the sense that it was bigger than politics?
I felt that, and we did a study for each American dream, and we asked them a question about the American dream. Do you know that 72% of Americans now think that the American dream is beyond our reach? 72%. That's a majority of every segment of society. So whether you're 18 years old or 80 years old, you're looking at the country and saying our best days are behind us.
I just don't find anything new in this, Frank. I mean, people have been saying these kinds of things. They worry that the life that their kids inhabit will not be as good as their life. We know that young people are staying home longer and living with their parents longer. We know that people talk about a lack of sense that the next generation will have it as easy as they do. That's not new, is it?
It is new.
When? When is it new?
We always...
You meant new in the last 6 months? New in the last year? New when? New since this poll?
New over the last, say, 5 years or so.
Okay, well, oh, sure, over the last 5 years.
But no one's talking about it, and no one's doing anything about it. Charlie, the government shut down. said to all Americans that Washington is not listening and is out of control.
But is that new, that Washington is not listening and out of control?
At an 8% job approval rating for Congress, your own poll shows Barack Obama at an all-time low. Less Americans believe that government tells them the truth.
And the president's approval rating based on health care and other things are very different things.
They
may come together at a certain point, but they're different things.
But we think Republicans are broken, Democrats are broken. We think that corporate America is broken. We think that Hollywood is broken. We don't trust the news. We don't trust what we read.
But that's not news. What I'm telling you, it's not like yesterday we discovered this. We've known this, as you just said, 5 years ago.
But if you lose trust and confidence and you don't invest in the future, you don't plan for tomorrow, and we don't trust anyone. Charlie, this is affecting the actual character of the country.
I can show you recommendation after recommendation after recommendation. We have to invest in the future because we know for this country to be competitive, it has to do more in research. It has to do more in education. It has to do more in terms of innovation. Yet at the same time, the qualities that enable us to do that are still there.
But we don't do it, and that's the whole issue. There was a way back in the Kennedy and in Ronald Reagan and even in Bill Clinton where we could come together as a country, where we could all unify.
Bill Clinton left office in left office in 2000.
Yes, we can't now do anything together. You and I don't even agree on this together.
What?
That you can't put people in a room and have a civil conversation like we are having right now. We didn't show the edits in there. When those people took off on each other, they were complete strangers, and within 15 minutes they were yelling.
Well, then why didn't you show that?
We have an instant.
Why didn't you show that?
Because I don't edit your show. You guys, I don't even have control. I've lost control over everything.
There you go. And I agree with it. The need to debate is exactly the kind of conversation you and I are having now. Absolutely.
But this doesn't happen.
With some sense of seeking common ground, and you and I could sit here and talk about this and figure out, where we agreed and where we didn't agree.
But viewers watching right now, they don't get this in other networks. They don't get this in other places. Where is the place where we all come? The school, the town hall, where we all come together to have this conversation. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the Capitol that I'm looking over there. It doesn't exist in the White House.
Okay, but let me just say one more point. I mean, in other words, here's where I see you and I having a conversation. I agree with everything that you found here. I'm just saying it's not new, and it ought to be a mandate to do something.
That's why this organizations like Each American Dream, organizations that say it doesn't matter what politics you have, it doesn't matter what income you are, you have to have the opportunity and you have to reach for the stars. Charlie, if we fix education, if we fix civility, and we once again restore that genuine opportunity, we won't have arguments. We'll have consensus.
On that we agree.
And that we agree, and that's the whole purpose of this.
Should we leave it there? That you two have agreed on that?
Well, it's the only thing we agreed on this morning. That and private planes are a good way to travel.
Are you upset with Frank? Or you
No,
just saying?
of course not.
Okay.
No, I just...
It was an interesting conversation.
I just believe that this is the kind of dialogue we need to have, because I think the country needs to maximize its potential and not lose faith in what makes us unique.
All right. Thank you, Frank. It is good to see you.